I want to preach for a few moments on prayer today, but in a different way, maybe than you've ever experienced it. I know that something is happening in my prayer life that I love, and I pray for impartation. I pray for that today. God instilled into the DNA of His creation a desire to communicate through prayer. That's why when you find remote tribes in the jungle somewhere who've never heard of God or Jesus or the Bible, they're praying to something, because something innate inside of us desires to communicate with God. There is an inner longing for Him, and the same with God. The only reason He made us was to fellowship and to communicate with us. We're made in His image with the ability. The Bible gives a beautiful picture of this in Genesis when it said in Adam and Eve, before they fell, God would come down at the cool of the day and walk through the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve, talking, fellowshipping, communicating. They weren't praying about their problems. They were being with Him. They didn't have any problems. They didn't have any in-laws. They didn't have any children. They didn't have any financial crisis, food and blessing everywhere. They were under the blessing. They didn't have any devil attacking them. There were no demons attacking them. The only reason that they were together was to be together. That's what real prayer is. Real prayer is not, like the little boy who the pastor said to him, "Son, have you said your prayers today?" He said, "No, sir, I didn't get in trouble today. I didn't have to." That's what some people think prayer is. It's just when you get in trouble. You don't get it. It's never in its original state was it about that. It was about, and He walks with me, and He talks with me. It's our time. It's our time. God not only intends for His people to pray, but now I'm going to really hit you hard right here. I'm going to tell you straight up in your face that it is a sin not to pray. 1 Samuel 12 and verse 23, God forbid that I should sin against the Lord in ceasing to pray for you. I'm telling you, that verse right there gripped this pastor's heart several weeks ago. And he said, if I cease to pray for you and pray for this ministry and pray for these families and pray for people coming and pray for the lost, I am sinning against the Lord by ceasing to pray. If you forget your prayers, you are literally forgetting God. If prayer is not real to you, it means God is not real to you. Those of you in ministry, if you don't heed what I say to you today about prayer, you will not stay in this ministry long. God will weed you out. I know no one who doesn't pray. I'm just telling you. This has come to this. It's pray or die. It's pray or dry up. So I'm going to give you the 5 laws of prayer. Number 1, this is it. This is how you develop a prayer life. It's very, very important. Number 1, prayer must be a priority, the priority of a Christian. Prayer. When you read the Bible, that's God talking to you. But when you pray, that's you talking to God. It's the most important thing that a believer can do is develop a prayer life, a consistent, unbroken place and time of prayer every day in your life. Well, that's just not me. I'm telling you what is vital to victory in your life. There'll always be something else you need to do. There'll always be something and somebody intruding That's why Jesus said, when you pray, go into a closet, a solitary place is all that he's saying. The word closet is found 4 times in the New Testament, and it literally means a secret place, a secret chamber, a private place, a place of privacy. Go into that place, and says these words, shut the door. Shut the door. Don't let people interrupt you. Don't let calls. This is our time. This is it, and it must be a priority in your life. Instead of you building your life all like this, and I got this, and I got that, and I got this, and I got that, and then I'll try to work prayer in, you're not going to pray. You're never going to have a prayer life. You're never going to be powerful and be what God wanted you to be. You're never going to do it if you don't build prayer into your calendar, and everything else has to work around that. Not only do you need the priority of prayer, you cannot take it casual anymore. You cannot say, well, that's for those other people. No, you. Secondly, you need a time of prayer. Are you listening to me? If you don't have a time of prayer, you're not going to make it in the ministry. You're not going to make it. I'm just going to go on and tell you, go on and resign. You're not going to make it. I'm not being mean. I'm telling people the truth. There must be a time to pray. Well, I kind of pray when God leads me. I will look you in the face if you tell me that and say, oh, so in other words, you don't have much of a prayer life. Because life runs on schedules. You don't go to work when you feel like it. You're on a schedule. You don't get up and get ready when you feel like it. You don't eat when you're on a schedule. Now, you may alter that every once in a while, but pretty much you're on a pretty tight schedule with everything in your life except prayer. Because it's not that big of a deal to you. But, here's how I want to say. How many of you ever go to work and sometimes you just don't feel like going? I'll join you on that one. But you know what I've learned is God says there's times when you're highly fired up, excited about going to work and all into it. And then there's times you just got to go because you got to go. You know what? You get paid either way. And that's how prayer is. God says if you show up with the time of prayer and you come in even if you don't feel it and you just walk in there and you're kind of mumbling in Jesus name, in Jesus name, and my Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, and you sound like an auctioneer. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because if you just show up, you get paid in the prayer place. Thank you so much for watching.